Hello, everyone. So, this is Motivational Monday Live, and this is the first Monday of 2023. Oh my gosh, 2023 already. With your host, Aura Elena Martinez. And before I even start with today's topic, I want to share with you what makes me create this, why I wanted to do this, why I'm going to be doing this every Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless I'm in Milan, then it will have to be another time, which I haven't decided yet at what time, because there's the factor of sleep and all that. Anywho, the purpose of this, I know it's called Motivational Monday Live. The name is cute. But I'm not here just to motivate you. We're not, no. And that is why I want to talk about motivation today. The purpose of this, I want you to wake up to who you really are, to wake up the passion within you so that you can live on purpose and with purpose. The intention of this is to elevate, to lift the level of consciousness. And the reason why that is so important is because the more you're able to see yourself clearly, the more in touch you are with who you really are, not what you've been told, not what you have thought, not what culture says or society says, or none of that. The more connected you are to yourself, the more you're going to notice that you're going to experience greater levels of happiness, greater levels of well-being. You're going to be able to live more authentically, right? And so there is a whole host of domino effects that this creates. And that is the intention with this. And you're going to get to know me a little more and my style and the work that I do. But the intention, more than anything, is to lift your level of consciousness, really, and to wake you up to who you really are and what you're all about, and to awaken that passion within, right? And so let's talk about motivation today, shall we? For those of you who probably know me, but don't know me like that, or if you're just knowing me, my name is Orlando Martinez once again, and I'm a self-discovery and empowerment coach, helping women gain total clarity in their purpose so they can wake up to daily fulfillment and certainty. And yes, I have worked with men, so I do work with men. And don't let the word purpose fool you. This is so much more than just a calling. Because let me tell you this, and I can tell you from personal experience, you could be living your calling and still not necessarily live on purpose and with purpose. So this is so much more. I mean, I have a background. I started out as a wellness and life coach. Some of you may already know that, some of you may not. So I'm go of the whole wellness thing. That is so important. You experiencing greater levels of well-being is so important. And so you uncovering those layers that you've been carrying within you, right, is so important and so crucial so that you can live life on purpose and with purpose. But that's a whole different topic that I can talk about another time. So I'm going to be doing this every Monday here at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you're not going to want to miss this because I'm going to be talking about different topics, all related to you living on purpose, with passion, lifting that level of consciousness here. So let's talk about motivation. And why talk about that and let that be the first topic of the year? Well, because when we start the year, we tend to start with all these New Year's resolutions and all these goals that we have, and we're so excited about it, and we're sure are motivated, right? But then comes March, and motivation can really start running out, right? Start fizzling out. And so when you are wanting to make things come into fruition, you cannot rely on motivation. Let me tell you, me, myself, I am not always motivated. I'm going to be honest. I am not always motivated. I'm not always motivated to work out. I'm not always motivated to cook. I'm not always motivated to go to the gym. Well, no, I don't go to the gym. I work out at home, but I'm not always motivated to work out at home. I'm not always motivated to post. I'm not always motivated to create content. I'm not always motivated to sell. I'm not always motivated to go to work. So you see where I'm going with this, right? Motivation is what helps you get started. Yay, right? But it is not what's going to allow you to continue. Oh, so if you've been saying to yourself, I'm not motivated, oh, I'm just not motivated. Well, first of all, I'm going to encourage you to stop saying that. Just stop saying that, because what you keep saying, you're going to believe. And what you believe, you are then going to be. So then it becomes a part of your identity. I want you to know that no one is always motivated. Not even the most successful person, people that do so much and that achieve so much, I can guarantee you they're not always motivated. And if they say that they're highly motivated, they're lying to you. They're lying to you. There are things that they are leaving out that they're not telling you. I can guarantee you that. Because here I am, I coach, I write for different magazines, I'm a speaker. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that I do. Because I don't rely on motivation. People that you see that they're very successful, they rely on other things. There are other things that they rely on. There's other things that they utilize in order to keep them going. All right. And so today I'm going to break down the pieces of that engine that's going to keep you going. I'm going to break it down. Okay. Because the engine is, I'm using this as a metaphor, of course, right? The engine that will keep you going is not motivation. It will get you started, but it's not what's going to keep you going. And this engine is composed of different pieces, and they all work together to make sure that the engine is working properly and that you keep going, even when you get discouraged, even when things don't seem to be going in the direction that you want to go. These are the pieces of that engine that's going to help you to keep going, okay? And I want you to know that you are the mechanic that ensures that that engine works properly. And the reason why I want to say this, because many times we forget the role that we play in our life, right? It's like, oh, well, this isn't working. Well, you're the common denominator in everything. You are much more powerful than you could possibly imagine. So you are the mechanic that ensures that that engine works very well. So let's start. The first piece of that engine that's going to help you to keep going so that you can make that vision, that dreams, those desires come into fruition this year is discipline. Discipline. Now, I'm going to say this. You probably heard this before. And if you're one of those people that they say, well, I don't need to listen to this because I already know this, I want you to pause that voice. Because if your life isn't the way you want it to be, you need to listen to this. I want you to know that one of the keys to success is repetition. You just knowing it once, you just hearing it once is not enough. Repetition is key. So please stay with me. Please stay with me, because all this is going to be of great value to you. It's going to apply to your life. Discipline. So what is discipline? I did look up the word discipline, and there was a few definitions. This is the one that I chose, and you're going to see why. All right. It's not going to be a sexy definition, but I want you to stay with me because you're going to see how this applies to you and your life and your desires. Thank you for the hearts. Discipline, the practice of training people to obey rules or code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. Stay with me here because I know it's not a sexy definition. I'm going to repeat it one more time, and you're going to see, yes, definition is definitely key until it becomes a habit. You're going to see how this applies to your life and whatever it is that you want to do. The practice of training people to obey rules or code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. Now, If you are wondering, how does this definition apply to your everyday life and the desires that you have? Well, when it comes to rules, you set your own rules. You set the standard for how you want your life to be. And whether you realize it or not, we're all following some kind of rules. Whether they are in our awareness or not, we're all following some kind of rules. Either we're following the rules of our parents, even as an adult, even though we don't live with them, right? But there's some rules that have been in our subconscious mind. Cultural rules, societal rules. We're all following some kind of rules. But when you're wanting to live your most purposeful life, one that is in alignment, one that lights you up, it's going to be very important that you start establishing your own rules, that you start having a standard for your life, right? So you train yourself to stay true to the rules and standards that you set out for yourself. You stay true to that. And I want to say the following when it comes to rules and standards. When you don't stay true to your rules, you lose trust in yourself. I'm going to repeat that again because that's a big takeaway. When you don't stay true to your rules, to your standards, to what you say that you are going to do, you lose trust in yourself. See, I trust that I'm going to show up at 10 o'clock in the night. Now, there's going to be moments I'm going to be very jet lagged. I don't care. I'm going to show up jet lagged. There's going to be moments I'm going to be in my turban because I'm probably going to be in Milan and I'm going to be too tired. So whatever, I'm going to be in the turban. But I trust that I'm going to still show up. Why? Because I have shown to myself before in the past that whatever I say I'm going to do, I do. And the more you do what you say to yourself that you're going to do, you build trust within yourself. And that allows you to grow self-esteem also in yourself, which allows you to also grow in self-love. Don't you love yourself when you honor the things that you set out for yourself? When you don't self-abandon, when you don't abandon your dreams, when you don't abandon the things that you said that you were going to do? Of course you do. So if you want to start growing in more trust within yourself, start by obeying your own rules, by going by your own standards, by doing what it is that you said that you were going to do. And you're going to see how that's going to start changing. So this that I just mentioned, so you train yourself to stay true to your rules and your standards, that means that you are not relying on your mood to get things done. You don't rely on your mood. Oh, well, I'm not in the mood to do this. Well, that doesn't matter. You're going to do it because you're disciplined. You're training yourself to do what it is that you said that you're going to do. So you're not relying on no mood. You do not rely on motivation. What did I say before? Motivation helps you get started, but it's not what's going to help you continue on, right? So you don't rely on motivation. Your mood is also dictated by your actions. This is very important. Your mood is also dictated by your actions, which means that when you take action, your mood is going to shift. If you wait until you're in the mood to do something, you're never going to do it. You're never going to do it. And it's just feeding whatever it is that you're already feeling. It's going to feed it. And your actions is feeding it. So when you're wanting to shift your mood, you got to take action. Because what action does is it creates an interrupt, a pattern interrupt within you. So whenever you're not in the mood, but you said you were going to do something, you just do it. Now, this is not about forcing yourself or anything like that. This is about you staying true to your rules. This is about you staying true to your standards. This is about you staying true to your vision, to what you said that you were going to do. Because you know that's going to create more trust within you. Because you know that's going to lift you up afterwards. Right? I'm telling you, I am not here to motivate you. I know it's called Motivational Monday Live. I'm here to light a fire in you. I'm here to lift your level of consciousness because sometimes no, not sometimes. This is what it takes for us to transform our life. Not sometimes. It takes this to transform our life. Okay? Motivation is fleeing. This is why you cannot rely on motivation. Motivation is fleeing. Okay? And relying on your mood is totally going to derail you. It's totally going to derail you, right? And our emotions fluctuate throughout the day. Throughout the day, we could feel all sorts of emotions. This is why you cannot rely on emotions either in order to get things done. I'm telling you, when you rely on any of these three things, that is detrimental to your vision. That is detrimental to your vision. Okay? There are times, like I said before, I'm not in the mood to do anything. I'm not in the mood to do shit, right? Yes, I'll admit it. But I know that if I don't do shit, right, I'm going to feel like shit. So the way you shift the shit is by taking action. I am here. I'm speaking with so much love. You're going to notice everything that I say is going to be with so much love. Sometimes it's going to be tough love because real love isn't necessarily, oh, no. No, real love wakes you up when you need to be woken up. And so I'm here to wake you up. I'm here to wake you up. Okay. So this is why you need discipline, right? You need to train yourself to obey your own rules. And the punishment for the disobedience of your own rules, because remember what I mentioned earlier about the definition. I'm going to read it again in case you have forgotten. The definition that I chose for discipline, because I looked it up, is the practice of training people to obey rules, but in this case, you are training yourself to obey rules or code of behavior using punishment, because it's not really punishment in this case, but whatever, punishment to correct disobedience. So the punishment for your disobedience for your rules, I'm going to utilize myself as an example. So whenever I am not in the mood to work out, all I have to think about is Ugly Betty. Ugly Betty, that's right, Ugly Betty. Let me tell you the story. There's a story behind it. So years ago, right? I had a passenger tell me that I look like Ugly Betty. Now, let me explain to you. At the time, when I went for training to become a flight attendant, it was a 5-week training. I started the training weighing 125 pounds, left the training weighing 144 pounds. My parents didn't even recognize me. I mean, my face looked different. I was a different person and I was a size 12. I'm currently a size 5. So can you only imagine adding all those? I mean, really, seriously, I look like a different person. And then on top of that, shortly after that, I started wearing glasses, right? Because I messed up my eyesight in college, reading in dim light, not a good idea. And I was starting to have a lot of acne in my face. I tend to break out. And I was wearing braces on top of that. So you could just imagine, I look like Ugly Betty to this passenger, right? But not only was the aesthetic bothering me, like the outside bothering me, because I didn't feel like the aura that I know that I am. It was the fact that when I would go up the stairs from the first to the second floor, I was already exhausted. I was already like, and because I'm short, because I'm short, I felt the weight. I felt the extra pounds. It's interesting when you weigh more than what your body was designed to have, you feel the weight actually. You feel it. You feel it. And so all I have to do is think about that time when I looked in a way that I did not like to look and I did not feel my best. That is enough for me to be like, okay, no, I gotta get myself working out because I'm not ugly Betty. You know what I'm saying? So you decide what you are going to utilize in order to get yourself back into, no, I gotta stay true to what it is that I said that I was going to do, right? Because I don't want this punishment. I do not want to disobey my own rules because I'll know that this is the consequence, right? This is the consequence. This is what I'm going to get, and I don't want that. So let that definition, you utilize it to the best of your ability that you can apply it in your life, right? That's the reason why I chose that definition. And by the way, one thing that I do want to say is this, because this is something very important to have present. When you set your own standards, there are going to be others that are going to criticize it. They're not going to understand it. They may think you're going overboard. So what? Right? And whenever you hear something from someone else, that's when you consult it with your inner being. And if your inner being disagrees, then that's the truth. What your inner being is saying, not what that other person is saying, is what your inner being is saying. Of course, if this is why inner work is so important, because when you have never done inner work and you have wounds and you don't know what you don't know, okay? You just do not know what you do not know. And it isn't only until you're trying to go after something very, very, very big, or what you consider very big, that you start realizing when you have to do inner work, because you start noticing those obstacles, those barriers, those things that it just doesn't come to fruition, right? When it is so hard for you to access your inner being, to really get to the truth, because all you're doing is listening to others, and other people to you are seeing the truth, that's an indicator that there's inner work that you need to do, right? When it is so difficult for you to listen to your inner being, when it is so difficult for you to access your own truth, that is one of the biggest signs that you need to do inner work. There are layers that need to be peeled. There are layers that need to be peeled. Okay. But anytime you hear something from someone, you consult it with your inner being. If your inner being says no, that's the truth, not what the other person has to say. So, the first piece of this engine, as I mentioned before, is discipline. Discipline. Okay. All of this is part of that engine that will keep you going. The second piece of the engine that's going to help you keep going after your vision, your desires, your dream, your goal is, it is scheduled. Oh, it is scheduled. It is in your calendar. And what is scheduled is what you tend to do, right? There's something so powerful. There's something so, so powerful when things are written down, when things are in your schedule, when things are in your calendar, because that gives you structure, right? You're giving yourself and your brain instructions as to how you're going to utilize your time, what you're going to be doing. It provides structure. We tend to do what it is that we have in our planner. And if you're thinking, well, there's something about me putting it in the calendar or scheduling it that makes me feel restricted, well, you have a funky relationship with your calendar and your time that I recommend that you work on. Okay. Everything is a relationship. We have a relationship with everything. We don't only have relationship with people. We have relationship with money. We have relationship with time. We have relationship with food. We have a relationship with everything and anything that you could possibly imagine. Okay. I used to think that putting things in a calendar was restricting to me. Like, oh my God, I didn't have flexibility to do this or to do that. And then when I was able to heal that and see it differently, I realized that, and I understood that that actually provides boundaries. That's boundaries. It protects my time. Scheduling things protects your dreams and your vision. It's not restricting you, it's protecting you. And it's protecting that which you say that you want. Okay. The people that you see that they're making things happen, that they're doing this and they're doing that, and they're reaching this and they're reaching that, it's because it's scheduled. And they don't change what is scheduled unless it's necessary. They respect that time, that block of time that they say that they're going to do something. There's nothing else that they have there. That's that. Okay? So schedule it. It is so, so, so important. The third piece of the engine that's going to help you keep going with your vision, with your dreams, with your desires, with your goals is accountability/support. Accountability/support. This is so important. Stop being an island. You're not an island. You're not meant to be doing things on your own. No one grows on their own. And anybody that says that they're self-made, they're full of sit. They're full of sit, right? Because nobody is made on their own. We are not designed to grow on our own. And you want proof of this? When we're born. When we're born, kids, we rely on others. We rely on others to teach us to do things. We rely on our parents and our caregivers to raise us, to teach us values, right? To teach us how to behave in society. And then after that, as we keep growing, we go to school. Excuse me, I get so passionate. And my saliva went to the wrong tube. And plus, I've been talking a lot today. Then we go to school and we rely on our teachers to teach us the skills that we need that's going to help us in society. And then we rely on classmates, right? So we can learn social skills. And then we go to college where we specialize on a skill, right? We learn more about ourselves. But see what I mean? We were designed from the moment we were born to be interdependent. And what that means is not just dependent, not just independent. We're both dependent and independent because both serve a purpose. Both serve a purpose. So whatever it is that you're wanting to do, and that personal growth that is needed in order for us to achieve whatever goals we want, it doesn't matter what it is, love, business, all of it requires personal growth. This is why I highly recommend that you get yourself the mentor or the coach that you need. Don't do anything on your own. Now, sometimes support, we can rely on our friends, and that may be a good start depending on what it is. But most of the time, it's not going to be friends. It's not going to be friends, right? Because if they're not in the same journey that you are in, they're not going to be able to support you the way you need to be supported. So know that you are the best investment that you will ever make, right? And so hire the coach, hire the mentor that you need. You are the best investment that you will ever have. I want you to remember that you are the best investment. Don't forget that. So many times we think that an investment is the house, the car. And I'm not saying that those are not good investments, but the best investment that you will ever make is on yourself, because you won't have that house without you. You are the one that facilitated to have the house. Yes, the way may have been the money because you have the money, but you needed to work for the money. Do you get what I'm saying? So you are the best investment that you will ever make. The fourth piece of this engine that will help you keep going so that you can achieve your vision, your goals, your desires is flexibility. That's right, flexibility, right? Flexibility, the mental flexibility, the emotional flexibility. And there's a reason why I say flexibility. There's a reason why. Because in the process, you need to grow as a person. In the process, there will be lessons that you need to learn. Emotionally, you're going to have your ups and downs, and you got to have that maturity to be able to handle it, or at least give yourself the grace to be able to handle it, right? Frustration may set in, right? You may start comparing your journey to other people's journey. Oh my God, look how far this person has gone. So you need to be flexible. You need to be flexible, because otherwise the things that can trip you up will trip you up. And not only will they trip you, they may make you fall when you're not flexible. And what's even worse is that you can stay on the floor if you're falling. This is why flexibility is so important. It's so important. And if you need an example of why this is so important, I'm going to come up with a real life example. For those that are entrepreneurs, and even if you're not an entrepreneur, listen up and see how this applies to your life or whatever it is that you may be wanting to accomplish. As an entrepreneur, and entrepreneurs can attest to this, you go through your ups and downs. You go through your ups and downs. You have your plateaus. You have your moments where you may question yourself. Oh my God, am I meant to do this? Oh, I don't want to do this. Yeah, I want to do this. Oh, no. You may notice that some people may be much more further ahead than you are. Oh my God, there's so and so. Oh my God. And so when you don't have that flexibility, when you are so fixated that your journey has to be one straight line, any kind of journey is never a straight line, by the way. You're going to have your ups and then your dips, and then you go up, and probably you do like a curve, and then you do like a loop, and then you're like going around in circles before you get out of that circle, and then you go up again. So flexibility, the mental flexibility, knowing that things are not going to go a straight line. Things might not necessarily go the way you want it to go. But when you're flexible, knowing that there's a lesson here to learn, I am meant to grow. How is this meant to grow? This frustration is not here to limit me or stop me, but it's here to teach me something. Like when you have that flexibility and then that emotional flexibility, you know what? I feel frustrated. It's okay to be frustrated. I'm not going to make myself wrong for being frustrated. Oh my God, this does not feel right. But you know what? It's okay. I'm going to sit with this. You're not making yourself wrong or right or anything. You're just flexible about everything. That is what's going to allow you, sustain you, and allow you to continue despite those up and downs. Because when you don't have that flexibility too, that can trick you. Whatever it is that may be happening that's discouraging you may trick you into thinking, well, probably I give up, or I'll stop doing this, or I shouldn't do this, or this isn't like it can trick you. And so that flexibility, no, what am I meant to learn from this? How am I meant to grow? I'm going to be flexible with all this. All this is happening for me, not to me. Like when you have that flexibility, that's going to allow for your engine to keep going. You're going to keep going despite whatever evidence, right? Whatever may be coming up. Flexibility is so, so, so important. And the fifth piece of this engine that's going to allow you to keep going after your vision, your dreams, your desires, your goal is keep your eyes on the prize. Your prize, your vision, your path. There's a reason why I'm putting emphasis on your. The moment you lose sight of your path and your vision, you lose. You lose. You lose because you get distracted. You lose because you get discouraged. You lose because you make decisions that don't necessarily take you where you want to go. And this can further delay whatever it is that you are seeking, whatever it is that you are wanting, right? And I know you don't want that. There's a reason why I say this. It's so easy sometimes for us to get distracted from our own path, especially when we have a vision and we see someone that has a vision that's similar to ours and they are achieving their vision. But here we are looking at their path because they're doing what we would like to do or what we aspire, and then we lose sight of our path. The reason why you want to keep your eyes on your path is because your path is going to indicate what your next step is. So it's your vision that you want to be, that you want to keep present. It is your path that you want to be mindful of. That is what's going to tell you what your next step is. That's what's going to, you're going to get a sense of what it is that you feel you need to be doing next, right? What's going to take you to your next level? What is your next level? It's when you're mindful of your path. And I also want to encourage the following. Make sure that your whatever decision you're making, that it's not coming from a layer. That it is not coming from a layer. Now, if you're wondering, what do I mean with layers? Layers, I call layers any limiting belief, any mental programming, any societal conditioning, any cultural conditioning, any story that you may be telling yourself that you might not realize that is limiting you. I mean, there's a whole host of things that can be considered layers. And fear is also a layer. And this is why inner work is so important. I want to say this. This is why inner work is so important, because you don't know what you do not know. And many times when we're making decisions out of layers, we don't even realize that it's a layer making that decision, that it is fear making that decision, that it is a conditioning making that decision, that it is a limiting belief making that decision, right? We don't realize that. And it isn't only until we do the inner work and we peel those layers that we can start making decisions that are more authentic to who we really are. And then we're able to stay true to who we really are, right? The reason why this work is so important is because this is what helps you access who you really are, what you're really all about. What are really your rules, not other people's rules, not a societal rule, not a cultural rule. What are your rules? This is what's going to help you ignite your passion, get connected with your passion, get connected to your most purposeful life. This is how you start gaining clarity. This is why I do the work that I do, right? There's a huge price that you pay when you don't have this deep level of awareness of what's really playing a role, who's really in the driver's seat in your life, when you lack this level of clarity, when you're not able to see yourself clearly, it is so important that you see yourself clearly and you start seeing yourself clearly through inner work. And I also speak from personal experience. The person that you see right now that's speaking the way that I'm speaking with so much confidence, and I know what I'm talking about, and I can do the work that I do, it's because of all the inner work that I have done, all the peeling back that I have done, and I continue to do, right? That's how you start developing even more confidence, a deeper confidence, a confidence that becomes so no one could take that away from you. And that's when you become unshakable, unstoppable, right? That's how. Don't let anybody fool you otherwise. This work is so important, it's so profound, it's so deep. And I want you to know that I'm available. Should you want someone to help you in this process, should you have something that's standing in your way, a block that you're not sure what it is, and you're wanting to clear that up, you're wanting to discover what that is and clear that up, I want you to know that I'm available for that. I'm available for that. This is the work that is needed to really transform your life when you're really wanting a transformation. And a transformation is more than a change, it's a drastic change, something that is more long lasting. This is what is required. The transformation first needs to happen within, because when it happens within, then it can be experienced out. So many times we focus on the outside, the outside. The outside is only temporary. If the problem within that is causing whatever it is outside to happen isn't addressed, it's only a matter of time for that outer change to go back to the way it was before. So when you're really wanting deep, long lasting transformation, that transformation starts within. So if you are ready to have a deep transformation in your life, more clarity. You're wanting to figure out, okay, what's missing in my life? What is needed to close this gap? How can I live my most purposeful life? Oh my God, something is getting in the way, but I don't know what that is. I want you to know that I'm available for that. So if you want to learn more about me and the work that I do and the services that I provide and how I'm able to help you, you could go to www.auraemartinez.com. There you're going to learn more about me, how you can work with me should you decide that you want to work with me, all the programs that I offer that you could do on your own, and also some free stuff that you could do on your own. And you could sign up for my newsletters as well, because I provide a lot of helpful information. So I want you to know you don't have to be alone in this journey. You really do not have to be alone in this journey. You don't have to do this alone. People that are successful, they don't do this work on their own, right? Because we have blind spots, and they're called blind spots for a reason, because they're out of our awareness. So it's time to really lift your level of consciousness and for you to see yourself so clearly that you could set yourself up for success in this year and forevermore. So it is my desire that you allow everything that I shared with you today to really sink in, because this is the motor that's going to help you keep going, not motivation. Motivation is great to help you get started, right? But not for you to continue. And the pieces of this motor, of this engine that's going to help you keep going are discipline, scheduling it, whatever it is that you say that you're going to do, right? Flexibility, that was the fourth one. And then the second one was accountability slash support. That was the third one, actually. And then the fifth one is keep your eyes on the prize, your vision, your path. You put these pieces together, this is going to be the engine that's going to keep you going, even when you have those dips, even when things get challenging, even when you're presented with so called obstacles. And it is my desire that you take this and apply it in your life. Share this message with other people. You never know who needs to listen to this message so that they can start their new year right. And it is my desire that you live life to the max the way you are destined to live. And until next time, bye for now.